Alright, so you can see what we got here. You got this field. We have this whole line of pines here, and then there's field all the way around it, and the edge just keeps going that way. The woods are all that way, and that's where we got most of our fisher sets. But we got a couple on the other side of this pond too, and down in a little drainage over there. Dad's over here, right about there, putting some muskrat sets in. What I'm doing is, I know from the past, fox travel up around this, particularly fox, but any canines, around this pole and this stuff here, and they cross. And I've caught grays back in on this edge here, so I'm going to put a set right there where that all that gunk is, because most of them are going to travel up and around this. They like these high edges. Thought about putting it on the back side on the very tip top, but I don't want it to be visible from the road. I'd even tuck it in right there, maybe pull that stone out, throw it on top, use it as a backer, and try to catch them, because the winds are going to blow this way quite often, most of the time, kind of like that. Right now they're kind of going this way a bit, but they got all of this to roam these edges and get that lure out here. It'll be a good setup, I hope. The trap is going to sit roughly in here, dirt hole, and be back up under the edge of this rock, using it for backing. The only downside is I don't have any dry dirt, but I got ways around that. So what I'm going to do is get in here and just kind of level me out a spot here. I want to make it real obvious that there's a dirt hole here, and passing critters can see it. Since there's so much, some roots in here from this vegetation, I'm going to go ahead and bust her out real big, and then so I can get some of these pieces out, and then I'm going to use this muddy mess, get me a nice solid base in here. Back it up just a little bit more. There. That'll be more than sufficient. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, do my little dirt hole now, because that way I know where to exactly set the trap. Go over to the pines over there and see if I can find some dry dirt under there. Should have made some freeze-proof dirt this summer, but I didn't get around to it. I had plans on it, but there's my dirt hole. Let this out just a little bit more. Okay. So what we got here, as of now, I got a pretty solid trap bed to work with. You can see I'm down, inch and a half, inch and 3/4, 2 inches maybe even. I'm not sure. Not exact science for me. Next, I need to trap my cable stake. These things are awesome. I know some people don't like them. I've yet to lose anything with them, knock on wood. They hold fast, they hold solid, and even in this ground here, I'm gonna have a hard time getting them back out when time comes, but I will. Pry bar and a little digging, they make a neat little tool for it, but it's just extra weight because they can be pretty heavy. Now with this guy being that we're center here, I want to be able to get this swivel and at least a link or so of chain past it underneath the trap. So figure out what the heck I did with my shovel. There it is. So since I'm going to put the trap roughly here, kind of cut that part out just like that. With these, basically you drive them straight in, this little stake driver thing, grabs on it, pushes it down, and then once it's down, you pull it, this turns flat up against the dirt. And believe me, they're not easy to move. So I've primarily seen fox here, but I know there's coyotes running out here too. Okay. Try that down in good. And then give this a good yank. There it is. You ain't pulling that out. Now I can put my quick link in this first swivel. I'll downright bury them up. And get this trap set. Now yes, I'm a wussy. I'm gonna have to set this with my feet. There was a time I could just grab these straps with my hands, but that time is no longer. So there, that's a lot better. Okay. There, that's better. And we'll return all of this here, just like I did before. You can use my hammer here a bit, get it down in, and get a little more this put back in here for a base. There, maybe a little here too. Alright, so now what I do, we're going to set this in here. Have to get a spot. Get past that one. That swivel down in the ground. And there we are. You notice kind of setting it a little off kilter this way a little bit. That's all preference. I find about 2 or 10 seems to be pretty solid. Helps from the dog hitting the pad and kicking out and all that fun jazz. Let's get that down in. Okay, so now obviously you can see how it wobbles, so I'm gonna fill it up underneath these levers just a little bit. Get a little mud in there. I'd rather it be dry dirt, but in here and done this, it'll work. There. Before I go any farther, now you can see that's in there fairly well, still not right, but pretty good. Notice gloves, always wearing gloves. Very important on canine sets. Here's what I do. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people do things different, so some people might scoff at this, but a little bit of foam filling, pillow filling. They make some products for this. Like one brand's Underalls. It's kind of a pre-cut, thick, kind of like a makeup-y looking pad kind of thing. I use this because it's dirt cheap. $3 gets you enough for season after season after season. I use about a quart baggie full a year, probably at the most. Put that underneath there. That keeps all the dirt and stuff out from underneath the pan. Okay, so now that way the tan will still drop. I get lots of dirt in around it to really stabilize this up a bit. Now comes to that part. I need a bunch of this stuff here around the outside. It's a hard piece of something. Don't want no rocks in there. Now, technically, for the most part, by using that stuff, that filling underneath, probably really don't need to put a pan cover on, but I still do anyhow. I just use wax paper. Once again, super cheap. Some back here. That's the key with these sets in the ground like this. You gotta really get them in so they're not wobbly. So I'm gonna keep, because if they step out here, see how that ain't moving at all? They step out there and that moves. 9 times out of 10 with canines, you aren't gonna catch them. They're gonna get curious, step off of it, and dig it out most likely, or just avoid it altogether. Okay, so now a lot of people will pack the dirt in here, which I normally would if I had dry dirt, but since I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back though. See if I can find something somewhat dry over here. Sure this is still. Yep. Alright. Did manage to find something somewhat dry, so let's get some of it down in here. Put the cover over top of it. Very cheap, nifty piece of equipment. Like I said, probably don't even need this. Probably really don't even need the cover with this stuff underneath it. Let's see. Let's keep the dirt on the top from freezing to the pan anyhow. Out here, just kind of a little foreign to out in the field. No, under the pine trees is the best place to go find dry dirt if you don't have any. You get the right pines, you get them real little needles. They kind of turn into dirt pretty quick. But we'll see what happens here. Alright. Now all we gotta do is put some bait down in that hole, put some lure. Maybe add a little to the backing. Push this out a little bit more. Bait, some sneaky lure. This 3 Meat Supreme seems to work pretty damn well. Down in the hole to cover the baits. This is some of the stinkiest lure of all time. What is it? That Gusto. Oh. Bother squirting. I'll just pour it up here. Other than it might chase fox away. But, yeah, not gray fox. But yeah. Finished hole. Bait's under that rock. Said they'll travel down this edges. They cross through the edge of these pines. We get over to the levee on the back side of this pond. They travel down that and around, so it should be a pretty good spot. We will see. So fun news is we caught a coyote this morning. I thought I had the camera on, but my SD card is full. So it turned itself off and I didn't realize it. So he's a pretty nice one too. He's been dispatched. And we just left it. We're going to go back and pick him up on the way out. He's right there by the truck. Kind of funny, we were just saying how we weren't seeing much back here as far as canine activity. The scene of the crime, if you will. It is a big Yoti. It's a good sizer. I'm going to really show you this too, because I got this whole set when I first put it in and rebait it and everything. And talk a little more why. But right there is what you want, folks. Cross them toes and pad like that. Oh, and this is one of our mod traps too, ain't it? It is. It's one of our number 2 modified Dukes. Maybe it's actually a, what to see, it might actually be a 1 3/4. But circle in here all tore up. Got some poop in there. But yeah, this stuff's full of woodchuck holes, so I've always envisioned they probably come across the top of the spawn from that little wood line to this wood line. And yeah, took 8 days. But I haven't seen Dad come back. I didn't hear him shoot, so I'm guessing that was it. But nothing in our traps back there, so I take care of this guy here and then get him out of here and come back. I'm going to reset this. There's some blood and stuff from it, but I'm going to reset it, and I think I might even set a second set back off the catch circle edge in the corn there a little bit. We'll see. Don't hate them, but when there's too many of them and nothing regulates them, they can become a menace in many ways. Have respect for them though. Very smart critters.